first touchdown as a New Orleans Saint, not only the play itself, but how much did it mean to you to do that in that uniform?
I mean, it feels better when you win. I mean, you can make those kind of plays, early on in the game, and it doesn't necessarily, help the team win. So, I probably say it feels better to win the game.
Can you just take us through that play and what you saw?
Just saw the ball in the air. I think the D-line was hunting, all day, and anytime you see a ball in the air and no one's around it, you just try to get under it and really just secure the catch.
I know it's an emphasis for the defense always to take away the run game, but for you playing back in the secondary, just kind of, can you describe a little bit of the ripple effect of what it means to take away the run game in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, we got a really good defense, and I think when we're playing well, at all three levels, I think it only complements, all of us. If we're able to stop the run, guys in the secondary could kind of, show their ability, right? And, obviously guys like Cam and, Grando and, Breezy, like those guys can show that they can get to the quarterback. So, and, vice versa. We're covering well. Those guys can kind of pin their ears back and, hunt the quarterback. So, we just try to play, complementary ball, all three levels. That way, all of us could kind of, get a taste of that, success.
Secondary's kind of managed just fine, but just the boost of getting Howden and Adigo back today?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of our deeper, positions on the team. So, obviously we get May back next week, and he'll be another boost, for us, going to Houston. But those guys are two guys that we count on. They play a big part in our scheme. So, anytime those guys can kind of show up and make plays for us, it's good for the team.
Tyrann Mathieu was saying that this week at the facility was no different, because you just kind of put the script after a loss. Is that hard for a team to do still? Like, does that kind of require the veteran kind of guys to be like, look, there's still 13 games left in the year?
Yeah. I mean, you never want to lose 2 games in a row. And so, I think as players, you got to kind of take that accountability and that responsibility. So, I thought throughout the week, guys just showed up, doing a little bit extra, watching a little bit more film, because you never want to lose 3 games in a row, not in this league. And, I think we all kind of understand it's still early in the season. And, we got a lot of ball left to play, but, you just want to find a way to kind of put your best stuff on tape. And, I thought coming into this stadium, with this coaching staff, who's a team that, doesn't matter, what's going on, they've always been a well-coached football team. So, and this is a great environment to play in, so, we knew coming into this week it was going to be another challenge for us. And, I thought we just did what we were supposed to do as far as, starting fast and, finishing strong today.
You said you agreed with Cam's assessment. This is kind of what you can be.
Yeah, I mean, this the big league, man. It's hard to shut out teams, each and every week. Obviously, things have to, go in your favor, right? Maybe they get a holding call that kind of, push them out of field goal range, right? Maybe they fumble a snap. Maybe you get a turnover. So, it's tough to do that, week in and week out. But, I think our attention to detail, obviously the way we impacted the quarterback today, being aggressive, at the catch point, all those things are things that, we expect to do, week in and week out.
You just mentioned impacting the quarterback. What did you do specifically in order to get that done?
We just played our style of defense. It wasn't like a special call that we made to, get after him. I thought the D-line just kind of took it personal this week. Last week, just felt like Baker had so much time, in the pocket. And so, you knew those guys was motivated, coming into this week. Obviously as a defense overall, we were motivated as well. So, we just try to do what we do, and play how we play. And, it kind of fell in our favor today.
You've had some pretty impactful games here, pretty impactful plays. Any reason why you like playing here?
Yeah, man. we were talking about that before the game. It seems like every time I come up here, I get a pick. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the same type of pick, right? Like it's usually a tip ball, that kind of just falls in my lap. But yeah, man, these are places, in games that you'll remember forever. Playing against a franchise that's won 6 or so Super Bowls. It always kind of gets you motivated, for the challenge to. And then they got great fans too, So I think a combination of all that, you don't need no creatine or no energy drink to kind of get your day started.
Can you tell us just a little bit about what you've seen in terms of growth from Jordan Howden? 2 games now, he had a pretty big impact play in this one. Just what have you seen from him?
I mean, he's a smart player, and he's a tough player. He's a guy that's, probably going to help this franchise, for a long time. And so, his role is constantly growing, week in and week out. I think the biggest thing with young guys that's is just making the plays that come to you, right? Like not trying to do anything special or, anything outside the scheme. It's just kind of letting the game come to you, right? And he had a lot of big plays, today for us. I thought he was going to catch that overthrown, post today. But he'll get that, man. He's a tough kid. He's playing with a cast on his hand, in the big leagues, right? And so, having a tackle and having to, get off blocks, those kind of things could, be conscious on your mind, and it may allow you not to play to your, full abilities. So, it's great to see. Not only is he a good football player, but he's a tough kid too.
He had talked about in his first game, sort of having these moments where he was kind of overthinking or thinking about making a play. Is that kind of what you're referencing about making tackles, getting off the last thing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in year 11, right, and I still have my moments, right, where I may overthink a situation. I may guess wrong on the route, right? Like I may shoot the wrong hip, when it's time to tackle somebody. So. Football is a game of mistakes, right? You're going to make a lot of them. I think the biggest thing is trying to minimize them. So, but he'll be all right. He'll have a long career. So, he just needs to get out his head, a little bit. But he'll make a lot of plays in this league. Yep. That good?